Welcome back to Searchlight. It's July 24th. Only 2 shows today, but there's plenty to cover in Chicago and Oakland. Let's begin. We'll start in Chicago, 1994, for a weekend run of shows that left the turf at Soldier Field in shambles. In fact, Bears defensive tackle Trace Armstrong said it was the worst turf that he'd ever played on after the Bears' opening preseason game against the Eagles. Now, our Chicago viewers may remember that the turf at Soldier Field was replaced in May of '94 by the sod father, George Toma, in preparation for the 1994 World Cup. And despite Toma's controversial exit from the NFL after the 2023 Super Bowl, George really isn't to blame for the poor turf conditions, and really neither is the Dead or the Deadheads. After all, it was Forrest Claypool in the Chicago Parks District that scheduled Pink Floyd on July 12th, just 10 days after the last World Cup game, and then the Dead on the 22nd and the 23rd. A financial-driven decision by Claypool, who was attempting to turn a profit for the CPD for the first time in its existence. Some reports say that he was successful, and despite feeling neglected by the city and battling turf issues for the remainder of the season, we'd say a playoff win for the Steve Walsh-led '94 Bears was a fairly successful season. Bears fans, feel free to debate in the comments. Now for the actual show. As we alluded to on the 21st, '94 is quickly becoming our favorite Bobby year. Unfortunately, we won't be able to hear him as clearly as we'd like due to the lack of soundboard from this show, but the audience recording isn't bad. Let's have a listen to this cover of It's All Over Now, with Vince having a moment here to shine. Real quick, folks, and we'll get back to the video. If you're enjoying what we do here at Searchlight and you want to support us, you can, of course, subscribe, but also become a Patreon for as little as $5 a month by scanning this QR code or using the link in the description. It will give you access to our exclusive Sunday Patreon shows. Back to the video. Okay, let's cross country and head to the Oakland Coliseum, where just 10 days before the 1987 MLB All-Star Game took place. It featured Oakland A's slugger and 1987 Rookie of the Year, Mark McGwire, who helped lead the American League to a 2-0 victory there in 13 innings. And a quick apology to our viewers who have no interest in sport. But as the Grateful Dead became more and more successful, attracted larger and larger crowds, and were forced to play these massive stadiums, it's hard to ignore the impact the Dead had on these stadiums and the teams occupying these stadiums, and vice versa. This maybe isn't the best example of that, but just fair warning, it won't be the last time we mention sport or stadium operations for that matter. Now, this is the second to last show from the Dylan and the Dead tour, and where the I Want You comes from on the Dylan and the Dead album, and another show from this tour that was captured by director Len Dell'Amico and released as View from the Vault 4. Now, we've mentioned Dell'Amico several times on the broadcast, and for viewers who are not aware, he is responsible for the majority of Dead films and was great friends with Garcia starting early in the 1980s, a time when Jerry was becoming increasingly more insulated. Dell'Amico's 2025 book, Friend of the Devil, chronicles their relationship and gives rare insight into Garcia's life during that period. We can't recommend it enough, and we've dropped a link to it in the description. Now, as we've discussed all tour long, the Dylan and the Dead sets leave much to be desired, and in retrospect are maybe more of a novelty than anything else. And writer Tom Scanlon of the Peninsula Times would certainly agree. He writes, "Don't let anyone tell you that the Dead and Dylan put on a great show in the Oakland Coliseum on Friday night." Well, Tom must have gone to the bathroom during the Esau, because it's hard to ignore the greatness of this performance. Let's have a look and a listen.
Esau holds a blessing, brother Esau holds a curse.
That does it for July 24th, 94 in Chicago, 87 in Oakland. We will see our Patreons this Sunday, the 26th. And remember, folks, if you want access to this Sunday's show and all of our Sunday shows, become a Patreon for as little as $5 a month by scanning the QR code here or using the link in the description. It supports the work that we do here and, of course, gives you access to our Sunday exclusive Patreon shows. We'll see our Patreons on Sunday.
Someone's looking for answers.